Well, it seems the best I can muster for a lot of shows these days is, well, I can't say it was bad. And that's as good as it gets. So, Star Trek Picard episode, what was it? Stardust City Rag? Something like that. Basically, it turns out they get to Free Cloud, which is where they're supposed to find Bruce Maddox. And they do. He was there. Boy, has he changed. I mean, sure, everybody's older. And Patrick Stewart's older, but he still looks like Patrick Stewart. This guy, I mean, it's not just the beard. So, I mean, was he the same actor? I don't know. I didn't pay attention. Anyway, so he went to Free Cloud, but Free Cloud is basically Las Vegas in space. And there's this naked woman who's a crime boss there. All right, she's not naked, but she wears this flesh-colored leotard. Look, it's hot, but it's kind of weird. I guess she got her fashion sense from 7 of 9's old clothes. Because there's a connection there for 7 of 9, who was introduced on last week's episode. And, and there was this character, I done forgot his name and everything, but there was this character, was another Borg guy from Voyager. Well, he's dead. He got tortured by this naked woman crime boss who sails off Borg parts, apparently. And so they were cutting this guy. They pull his eye out and all this stuff, cutting him up. No anesthetic, just because, I guess. Looking for his parts, and then, ta-da, 7 of 9 shows up and kills them all and tries to save him, but he's in such misery he asks her to end his life, so she does, yeah. And she's really upset about this, so she's looking for naked woman crime boss, and with Picard's help, they find her, because she has Bruce Maddox, because there's some sort of connection with her and Maddox and his creating Daz and Soji. And he informs her that, the Tal Shiar showed up, destroyed my lab, and I had to find a place to hide, so he comes to her, and then she almost kills him, but then knocks him out and basically holds him prisoner. So Picard and his crew show up. Now, I thought this one would be a stupid episode because they were showing off their idiot disguises that he and Rios dressed up in. Picard is wearing an eye patch, and he puts on a French accent and all this crap. And Rios dresses up like a pimp. And the deal is that they're trying to get this woman's attention, and they offer to sell her 7 of 9. So, cool, yeah, it's all good and well. Now, the stupidity of the costumes and stuff, look, you got to admit that Star Trek did stuff like that. They would dress up for certain periods and planets and whatnot, and that sort of thing. And I thought there would be this overemphasis on it, but it's not. It's rather brief, and they do it. Yeah, it's silly and kind of stupid, but it doesn't really matter. They get in, and they quickly reveal who they are, and 7 of 9 gets the drop on the naked crime lord and all that stuff. She wants her leotards back. Well, she blames this woman for the death of this other Borg guy. I forget his name, but she saw him as the son she never had and all this stuff. And seemed to insinuate that there might have been some sort of romantic relationship between her and naked crime boss. They don't come out and say it, but they certainly seem to imply it, which is odd because, didn't 7 of 9 end up with Chakotay at the end of Voyager? So, I don't know. Is it canon that he's dead now or something? I don't know. But I know he did die in the alternate timeline, but then, oh wait, is this the alternate timeline? That Janeway had to change time in order so they escaped back to the Federation space before, because normally it took them a lot longer, and Chakotay died and all that, something like that. Well, maybe. I don't know. So anyway, so they do that. They get Maddox, and then, the big reveal. Well, sweet Agnes is not so sweet after all. No. And also they revealed that her and Maddox were a thing, and then she kills him. I don't know. She just does. I don't know why she really had to. She's crying while she does it and everything. So she knows something. She's a spy. And, of course, there were hints at this early on, especially when Picard's house gets attacked by, well, not the Tal Shiar. What are they? The super secret Tal Shiar. So secret, even the Tal Shiar. I forget the name. But anyway, when they attacked, and then, she shows up right at the last second there and walks in and shoots one of them. And she's just like, it just happened to be dropping by to come visit, Jean-Luc, And so, yeah, that was kind of a clue. And so yeah, she's working for the bad guys. She's a spy and all this sort of thing. Even though she's probably the worst choice for them to have a spy, but there she is. I mean, it'll give her story something else, because as far as her just being the comic relief and all that, it wasn't working. So, I mean, for what it is and its plot, it's nothing new. It's stuff you've seen before, but they deliver it sort of okay. The overall problem for Picard is how they set it up. I mean, things don't make sense. The Federation is this xenophobic, racist group here, even though it's made up of how many different races and people? Yeah. And then the Romulans themselves, the state they're in as refugees, none of that really makes sense. A supernova would not make that happen. They had an empire. A better scenario would be the supernova resulted in a civil war between different governors or what have you, vying for ultimate power over the empire. And then your refugees were the people who lost, and they were seeking refuge within the Federation. And yeah, you would have certain worlds and stuff they're not very trusting. They're worried about this might be a Romulan plot and all that sort of thing. But they just slapped this in there, It's very lazy. And so with that going on, it's hard to give anything a chance because it's so disrespectful to the overall story, and it comes across as somebody who doesn't know anything about Star Trek. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, but this unto itself was not too terribly bad, but it wasn't all that, this turned the page, But it's a step up from the past few episodes they've had. The first one was the most interesting one, except for stupid things that happened. And then it just got stuck in the mud. It just dragged. And even the episode where he gets the, Elfron, that one wasn't all that great. So, yeah. So this is so with that going on, it doesn't take much for this one to shine forth, So anyway, so all that trouble about Bruce Maddox, and as far as him being the ultimate villain in this story, not so much. Now, he's dead unless we're going to learn and he's an android and he resurrects. I don't think so. He's done. Every time there's someone from the old show, they get rid of him as fast as they can. So 7 of 9, I thought, this is cool. She'll be a part of the show. And still gorgeous. And nope, she's gone. She doesn't die per se. They leave her in a gunfight at the end because she finally gets her revenge on, the naked crime lady. And fries her with a phaser, and she and ruined the leotard. So 7 of 9 doesn't get her leotard back. And then she goes out blazing at her, underlings or what have you. All that stuff. Well, so you could say she survived. Maybe they'll have her come back at the end or something, but she's not a regular character. So I don't know what that's about, but they can't have anyone else. It's like the Raffi character, who is put there to be someone who really knows Captain Picard or Admiral Picard now and all that stuff. that should have been one of the Next Generation characters. You know, most favorite would be Gates McFadden coming back as Crusher. You know, but one or the other, the LaForge. And that's another thing. The whole thing about Picard being so obsessed, really, about Data is just, that's not in his character or the story either. And really, LaForge would have been the only one who really could have claimed to be Data's best friend or anything like that. So why the hell isn't he there? You know, it's just, I don't know what that's about and why they just didn't want anybody else from the show. I wouldn't, you know, they wouldn't have to have every last one, you know, but as soon as they come on, they say, hey, remember me? Yeah. And then they're gone, you know. So I guess Hugh's still around. But there you go. So, yeah. So, yeah, a little better, but, yeah. So anyway, there you go. Thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. Most notably, over at IndiePlanet.com, you can pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Yeah. And you can catch my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com, yeah, or on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you want to get it. And you can also watch my videos over at BitChute. That's the Mr. Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.